As we welcome everybody inside, as we are aware of the technical difficulties as it's audio only currently at the moment, but we welcome everybody inside Charger Fieldhouse here as Carroll, not Charger Fieldhouse, Charger Field, still in the volleyball mindset, as Carroll takes on Columbia City. As here in the top of the first, Carroll has 2 outs already. Logan Inman pitching against Columbia City. That one's laid on the ground as Tratnik able to take care of business as Inman retires his side. We'll head to the bottom of the first here on the Charger Sports Network. As we're going to be back here on the Charger Sports Network, once again, audio only here so far, but we take a look at the Chargers batting order as they're up here, bottom of the first, up 1-0 against Columbia City, as it's Jackson Sparks who's been on fire to start the season, leading off. Then Eric Tratnik, Xavier Edgar, Carter Irons, and then Asher Wagner, Braden Chrisley, Eli Newhouser, Tyler Morris, and Logan Inman in the 9th spot. As coming up to pitch for Columbia City is Schmidt here tonight, as his second appearance on the season. Started once already, 6 innings pitched, only allowing 2 hits, 3 walks, and 12 strikeouts. So definitely a good pitching prospect here. As we're ready to go here, Jackson Sparks up in the box.
For the Chargers, number 1, Jackson Sparks.
Sparks hitting .467 here this season with 3 doubles and a home run already. The Indiana State commit heading to Terre Haute in just a couple months' time. As he steps up, as we are ready to go here, bottom of the first, Carroll up to hit. As he takes the first one in for the strike, it's 0-1. Once again, if you're just joining us, we are aware of the technical problems as we are audio only currently, as that one just a tad outside the zone. So it's 1-1 to start us off. Sparks has yet to swing at a pitch so far. As that one's up the middle, Sparks hits it directly to the second baseman, and he grounds out for out number 1. So that'll bring up Eric Tratnik.
Up next for the Chargers, number 4, Eric Tratnik.
Hitting .312 on the season, but he's without an extra base hit so far. As that one's up high for ball 1. Schmidt, the left-handed pitcher, as he sends that one into the dirt. It's 2-0. So Schmidt ready to deal, 2-0. Down once again, just barely high up in the zone. So 3-0 count here for Tratnik.
Yeah, Tratnik showing good discipline here, not swinging at the pitches Schmidt is throwing, forcing him to throw a strike.
As that one is going to be laid in for strike one. 3-1 as there's the Carroll defense. 3-1 pitch. Schmidt to put inside, just up high as Tratnik will take his 4-1 walk.
Yeah, as I said, good discipline there from Tratnik as first batter of the day, Sparks grounding out, but Tratnik early, able to take that count early and work it in his favor as Edgar, the DH, up to bat.
It's now Edgar coming up here, the leader in home runs on the season last year for this Carroll team. As that one's up high and away, as Schmidt trying to target the upper range has just struggled here so far. As 1-0, Tratnik on first here with 1 out. As that one's fouled and away. So here we go, 1-1, as that one is just a bit early there for Edgar. 1-2 count. One, 2 count, 1 out here. Schmidt deals it inside. That one's high and away, popped up into the infield. As second baseman is under it, and the play is able to be made for out number 2.
Now for the Chargers, number 8, Carter Irons.
So now Carter Irons to hit as Tratnik with the 1-out walk still at first base. Was a aggressive team on the base paths last year, has yet to really attempt anything as they check Tratnik at first. He slides in safely. As Irons just a tad inside. 1-0 for Irons here with 2 outs. Tratnik at first base. Schmidt checks Tratnik at first again.
Yeah, Tratnik doing a good job, taking a big lead there, but always cautious of the pitcher, trying to pick him off.
As that one high once more, 2-0 count as 2 outs to go here. Irons up to bat. Schmidt. That one just a tad outside as well. So 3-0 here. Schmidt trying to avoid his second walk of the inning here in the bottom of the first.
Yeah, good count here. Very favorable for the junior Carter Irons as he looks to add another Charger base runner.
As he stares that one, and it's going to be a 4-0 walk. So Tratnik heads to second, Irons on first. As they'll send up the catcher, they'll actually send up the right fielder, Asher Wagner.
Now batting for Carroll, number 24, Asher Wagner.
Wagner, the sophomore. Struggling here, a bit cold to start the season, only hitting 164. As that one's fouled away. A heavy power hitter on this team, batting in that 5 slot. Swinging in the dirt there. I'll make it 0-2 here for Wagner.
Yeah, just not a great swing there from Asher Wagner as staring down an 0-2 count here. Has got to get something going.
Runners on first and second with 2 out. Schmidt 0-2. As that's contact made by Wagner. That one's going to fall. Tratnik's going to try to go for home as he's going to be able to make it. Iron slides to third, and it's an RBI single for Asher Wagner.
Yeah, as I said, 0-2 count staring down that, but able to get contact on the ball right there, and it drops down, and the Chargers strike first.
Up next for the Chargers, number 2, Braden Chrisley.
As now Chrisley to hit here. Through 14 plate appearances, hitting .700 so far. But without an extra base hit, but with Irons on third base, they won't mind a hit anyways here with 2 outs. So it's 1-0. Newhouser on deck as it's a steal attempt coming in for Wagner as it's cut off by the second baseman as Wagner gets in safely. So 2 runners in scoring position now for the Chargers with Wagner on second and Irons at third. As Chrisley with a big advantage here to increase his Charger lead. As that one's in the dirt. It's able to be blocked by the catcher, but make it a 2-1 count.
Yeah, Schmidt kind of losing control here as runners on second and third. Had a great start to the inning, but kind of having it elongate here now as Chrisley the chance to do damage.
As Schmidt trying to get out of the jam. That one's up high, will make it 3-1, so 1 ball away from a bases loaded situation here.
Yeah, not really a situation you want to be in here at the bottom of the first inning as Chrisley with a great opportunity here for the Chargers.
Bases load as that one's going to be in, almost bases loaded, as it's going to be a full count. Here with 2 outs, runners on second and third. As it's Carroll leading 1-0 here against Columbia City. Big pitch here from Schmidt. As that one's made contact on, it's going to stay fair. And Chrisley is going to ground out. So Schmidt gets out of the jam, but Carroll puts 1 on the board here as Carroll heads to the top of the second. They lead 1-0. As we're going to be back here on the Charger Sports Network, Maddox Moon up for the Columbia City Eagles. Carson Beeman joined here by Owen McFadden on the call here as we start the top of the second. We do have our video back, which is always nice to see. As pretty much had to do a radio call there for the first inning. As Inman able to retire the side the first time out. That one is going down to shallow left as Craker able to make the diving stop. for a quick out number 1.
Yeah, and Inman really able to retire the side very quickly at the top of that first inning and already has one out here at the top of the second as the Chargers had some success offensively there at the bottom of the first, able to go up on the scoreboard here 1-0.
Took care of the first inning in only 8 pitches. As the right-handed senior, that's a swing and a miss there for Bradbury, the second baseman. As that one's in for a strike 2, so 0-2 count here. Inman with a good start here so far. As that one's made contact on, Stratnick has it, trying to make the play to first and is able to do so for out number 2.
Yeah, Inman really taking control of the mound here. As 2 batters already down here at the top of the second inning. There's a good play from the first baseman, Tyler Morris, there just to extend out to grab that ball.
This is Columbia City's first game in 12 days. Have not played since the 3rd of April in a 12-0 win against Plymouth. So bats might be a bit cold, especially in this cold and windy temperature. Projected 45 degrees at the start and pretty heavy wind into the double digits blowing to the right. As it's 1-1. Inman trying to retire the side for the second straight inning here to start his day off. 1-1. That one's fouled back. 1-2 count. As Schmidt, the pitcher, trying to become the first base runner there, takes the ball inside. 2-2 count. Inman here on the 2-2 pitch. As that one hits Schmidt, as he'll take his base for the first base runner of the day for Columbia City.
Yeah, and a rare mistake there for Logan Inman through 2 innings as had a 2-2 count, trying to strike out the side, but unfortunately for the Chargers, hits the batter as Columbia City will advance a base runner to first.
As he's been pretty good already today, but control on the inside has been kind of an issue. Had another one that was close to hitting the leadoff Carter Wilkinson to start the first, as that one goes to punish as the inning continues here for the Eagles. Inman trying to take care of business here as it's Logan Fry up to hit. He fouls that one back. Fry looking for his first hit on the season. As Schmidt's going to try to steal, and it's going to be an out. A great throw by Chris Lee, as that will take us to the bottom of the second. Carroll defense taking care of business. As Carroll leads at 1-0 here, headed to the bottom of the second on the Charger Sports Network as
Off the bottom of the second for the Chargers.
it's a
Number
cold
5,
April
Eli Newhouser.
afternoon here, Owen. As I don't know, it does not feel like it's the middle of April so far.
Yeah, it does definitely not feel like the middle of April, especially, shortly coming off of spring break where we were both in Florida.
I was on the beach 3 weeks ago, and this is miserable for me.
Yeah, not exactly the weather you would really want here in mid-April, but here we are.
Newhouser steps up as he takes ball 1. As Schmidt back on the mound here, the left-handed pitcher. As he struggled in that first inning, allowing 3 runners on as the RBI single by Asher Wagner bringing in Eric Tratnik. As that one hits the ground. 2-1 count.
Yeah, and looked good early on, Schmidt, but kind of lost control as the inning progressed, but only allowed 1 run, so good news for Columbia City.
As that's a swing and a miss by Newhouser.
Big swing and a miss.
2-2 count. Schmidt trying to deal inside, that one down low. Full count.
Yeah, Schmidt's put the ball into the ground twice at this at-bat, so in a full count now here. Really going to wonder if Newhouser will even swing at this one.
Control definitely being an issue here for Schmidt early on as that one's just barely foul tip back to stay alive.
Yeah, that one looked a little bit high there, but Newhouser just able to tip that one off his bat as we'll do it again.
Let's use the full count. Up high.
Yeah, it looked pretty similar, those 2 pitches, both up high as Newhouser able to take advantage that second time and earn the walk as Schmidt will allow a Charger on first base.
So that'll bring up Tyler Morris, the first baseman.
Number 13, Tyler Morris.
Looking for his first hit of the season. It's a very cold and windy day, as we stated. 18-mile-per-hour winds as we currently stand, blowing to the right side. It's definitely not pleasant to be in. Especially when you're like me and did not pack a jacket, so. That one's down low again. So 2-0. Newhouser's going to steal, and he's going to be in safe.
Yeah, it's just too easy there for Newhouser. The ball's in the dirt once again, as I said, control being an issue, and Newhouser taking advantage as he'll go out to second base. Morris with a chance here to get 2 base runners on for the Carroll Chargers.
Newhouser with a pretty big lead there on second. As that one's up high again.
Yeah, way high there for Schmidt as not a great start to the bottom of the second for the pitcher.
Someone who had 12 strikeouts in his only start of the season. Struggling with his control here so far. 3-0 Carroll. A very patient team historically, as that one's laid in for strike 1. As that one's going to be ball 4, so already 2 runners on here to start the inning for the Carroll Chargers.
Yeah, the worst news here for Columbia City, 0 outs. So the Chargers basically have free reign here to try and load the bases and score some runs here as they're already up 1-0, and looks like we're going to have a mound visit.
Yeah, Craker up to bat as big scoring opportunity coming up for the Chargers as we come back. As Schmidt back on the mound here. Struggling with his control so far after giving up already his 4th walk of the game back-to-back here to start out at the bottom of the 2nd. As it's Jackson Craker up in the 9 spot. As Schmidt tries to check Newhouser.
Yeah, no even. Second baseman in the area there to pick off Newhouser, as there'll be a waiver here. But Craker with a great opportunity to try and get something going here, as Schmidt really paranoid here with the second baseman.
The left-handed bat runner in scoring position early on. That one's tight inside. Craker a colder bat than what we've been used to from him in the past to start the season. As that one's found inside and down low. 2-0.
Yeah, and Schmidt really struggling to throw a strike here, as another favorable count for the Carroll Chargers by way of the senior Jackson Craker.
As Schmidt just finding himself down in counts just too quickly here, as that one's a check swing but makes contact, as it's going to send Craker grounding out, but it's going to send the other 2 base runners in scoring position at 2nd and 3rd.
Yeah, not necessarily the best result, but the Chargers do advance both runners, and with only 1 out, should be in prime position to score here once again, as Sparks, top of the order, up here to bat.
Yeah, no one else you'd rather have on. 7 RBIs so far in the season, hitting .467, grounded out in his first appearance. As he makes contact on that one, just a tad under it. As trying to make the plays, a left fielder, as that's going to drop. And Newhouser is going to come on in, as the wind just a bit hard to play there for Trickle, the left fielder. And it's going to send in a run for Carroll, making it 2-0.
Yeah, it just looked like he underestimated where that ball was going. Was out way in left field, but realized at the last second he needed to sprint forward, but could not get there in time, as Sparks will see a runner score as the Chargers up 2-0 here with Eric Tratnick, the senior, up to bat.
Morris stays put at second base. But a good start here for the Chargers. Their first home appearance was a pretty good one against Bishop Dwenger, a 14-0 win in 5 innings. Trying to replicate the same offense here as Tratnick takes the first one. Tratnick walked in his first appearance and was able to come around for the first run of the ball game. So Schmidt winds up. That one's down low into the dirt. It's going to be a double steal attempt, and both players are safe.
Yeah, and Schmidt's really got an issue here with just throwing the ball too low into the dirt, trying to get the bite, but the Carroll Chargers really good with their discipline at the plate, and it's going to result in both base runners able to steal a base, as still only 1 out, runners on 2nd and 3rd. Tratnick with a great opportunity here.
As that's already Sparks' 4th stolen base of the season, 2nd on the team, tied for 1st. As it's going to be a ground out, and it's going to be an RBI single there for Tratnick, as Morris comes in, making it 3-0.
Next up for the Chargers, number 3, Xavier.
So now here comes up Edgar. As he swings on the first one, a line drive straight to the shortstop. And Edgar's going to come in at first. He's going to turn and return back to first base. A tough play, a good grab there by the shortstop, Wilkinson, but it's actually Deckman making the play, just not able to get it in time. So that'll bring in another run there for the Chargers as Sparks makes his way through.
Number 8, Carter Iron.
And it's going to be an RBI single there by Xavier Edgar.
Yeah, the Chargers really taking control here in the bottom of the second inning as trying to pick off Edgar there at first, but Schmidt really losing control as we've talked about with sloppy errors or mistakes here as lead all the way out to 4-0.
As Irons takes the first one in. A 3-run second inning here from the Chargers. As it's going to be a steal attempt inside, and Edgar caught stolen for out number 3, as that will take us to the top of the third, as Carroll able to put 3 more on the board. As we welcome you back here, top of the third, as number 19, Logan Fry, the DH, up for the first time here. Inman only allowing 1 base runner so far through 2 innings, that being a hit by pitch to Lucas Schmidt, who got caught stealing after a great throw by Chrisley over to Tratnik to end the top of the second. As Carroll up 4-0, Columbia City needs to do something here, as Carroll has gotten to Schmidt pretty well here on the offensive end so far. That one's inside for 3-0 count. Zinman trying to avoid the walk. Slings it for strike number 1, 3-1 count. As that one swung on, as that's going to go up the line and through the infield for the first hit of the ball game for Columbia City. As Fry gets on first.
And the Eagles really needed to get something going after that very dominant bottom of the second inning for the Carroll Chargers, as really struggling on the mound. But if they can match the offensive firepower shown by the Chargers, should be okay, as the game earlier to start off the year, 5-4, was a very close game. So we know this team can compete with this Chargers team.
Colby Booker now up, as you said, Owen. Taking it to 8 innings on opening day for both of these. Opening day for Carroll. At least Carroll winning that one 4-3. As 0-1 count. That one's in 0-2. Here, Inman trying to get the first out.
Yeah, doing a good job of reasserting himself here after that hit in a 0-2 count here, trying to strike out the Columbia City batter here. As
that one's foul tip back. Booker trying to stay alive. As busy day here on the Diamonds, as softball also starting back up. They're up 4-0 against the Leo Lions. Sean and Carson on the call for that one. As that's a swing and a miss and the first strikeout of the day for Logan Inman.
Yeah, and Inman, as I said, just doing a good job of taking back control of the mound here as that's the first hit of the day, but comes right back with the backwards K.
Inman with only 29 pitches so far here through the top of the third. Being efficient so far as that one's laid in for another strike. As pitching has really been something that's been affecting Carroll a lot so far. 2-3 on the season, and have just given up 7 or more runs in all 3 losses. One of those being a 16-14 loss to Fishers on April 4th, as Chris Lee almost gunning out Fry, but he comes in safely. Carroll 1-0 at home. As that's going to be another strike. So 1-2, Inman trying to get back-to-back strikeouts here as Barry on the plate. As there's the strike looking a backwards K for Logan Inman for out number 2.
Yeah, it's 2 straight strikeouts for the senior here, is having an excellent day pitching so far. Only 1 hit given up, 0 runs, and the Chargers continue with this 4-0 lead here, at the top of the third.
As they'll bring up Wilkinson as the order restarts for Columbia City. Grounded out in his first appearance. That one's just a tad up high. One nothing. Down outside. Pretty big lead taken there by Fry, as he might be looking to enter scoring position here on 2 outs. It's 3-0. Inman has yet to allow a walk here so far today. Has only allowed a hit by pitch and a hit. But he's going to have to do a bit here to get out of it, and he's not able to do so. It's a 4-0 walk, so Fry enters second base, and Wilkinson able to take the 2 out walk. As
some signs of life here for the Eagles as they get 2 base runners on, but 2 outs here. So Inman just needing 1 more out to force the Eagles off from batting, as the Chargers still up 4-0 here.
would be much needed as that bring up Deckman, still without a hit this season, has 1 RBI to his name. That one's brought down low, and runners are going to steal second and third, so 2 runners now in scoring position as Deckman with a big opportunity here to try to cut the lead in half.
Yeah, not a great pitch there, as you saw, and it works out in the Eagles' favors as they advance both base runners and have a chance here to put a run on the board with Deckman.
As contact made, that one's going to get fouled back into the stands. One. As a bit of a 2-out rally here from Columbia City, trying to get a run on the board. Down 4 here in the top of the 3rd inning. As that one hits Deckman, as it's a bases loaded now, coming up for Henry Neller. As dangerous hitter now, hitting .385 on the season, 5 hits, 6 RBIs, and a home run. So big opportunity now for Columbia City to maybe even tie it up. Inman trying to avoid the jam. That one's inside.
Yeah, and Inman really had great control at the start of this inning here, but I've seen that fade away as the base is now loaded. Still 2 outs for the Carroll Chargers, but gonna have to earn this out here as Eagles in prime position to score.
As Inman steps off the mound, check the runners. 1-0 count. Once again, down low, so hitters count early on here, 2-0.
Yeah, not a great sign here. Inman's got to flip this count back around here, as you said, 2-0.
As that one's going to go foul. As I believe that's Reinhardt in the bullpen now for Carroll. In case Inman needs assistance. It's a 2-1 count. Neller trying to knock a run or two in here to cut the lead down. That one's delivered 2-2. Big pitch coming up here now.
Yeah, and Inman's worked this back in his favor. As I said, he needed to do so and has a chance here to strike out the side and avoid this jam here as base is still loaded.
As just foul tip back as we'll play on. As that one's fouled out of play once again. Neller battling here. It's been a long inning for Inman. Two outs. Bases loaded. As that's in there, good selection by Inman. He gets out of the jam and stays scoreless. As Carroll heads to the bottom of the inning, they're up 4-0. As we head to the bottom of the third, Carroll trying to improve up 4-0 after Inman able to get out of the bases loaded 2-out jam. As they'll bring up Carter Irons, second time tonight, walked his first time up as he got stuck at third base to end the inning. As that one's in for strike one.
Yeah, that could have been a really bad situation for the Chargers there at the top of the third as Inman in a really tough situation with the bases loaded.
Able to get Neller caught looking, but it's 0-2 already here for Irons.
But just able to get the strikeout when he needed it to shut out this Columbia City side so far.
As Schmidt deals, that one's grounded to Wilkinson as he makes the play. Out number 1 here as Irons grounds out. That'll bring up Wagner, had the RBI single, able to bring Tratnik in the first inning.
Yeah, and Wagner had that weird contact with the ball, but still able to get that one to drop, as that really the reason the Chargers went on their scoring run that they did.
That one in the dirt.
That one very low. We saw him swing on one of those earlier, but able to check his bat there.
That one's up high, so Schmidt, who struggled with his control there in that second inning. As we take a look in at softball up 4-0 in the bottom of the 6th. As that'll be ball 3 now for Wagner. As that'll be a 4-0 walk there for Wagner as he'll take his base for the 1-out walk. There is a player in the pen for Columbia City. Can't really make out who, but both teams putting people in the pen here in the 3rd inning. As pressure gets put on the pitchers. Chrisley grounded out in the 1st. Takes ball 1. Schmidt. As there'll be a steal attempt here by Wagner as he's in there safely.
Yeah, and that ball just thrown a little bit out of the way there for the second baseman for the Eagles, Bradbury, as Wagner able to get in there at second for the stolen base.
So Chrisley now with an RBI opportunity. That one's fouled back. 1-2. Chrisley, one of the only 2 Carroll players that have yet to get on base yet here tonight. As he's going to get caught looking on the 1-2 pitch, as that'll be, I believe, the 2nd strikeout of the day for Schmidt.
Yeah, and Schmidt trying to reassert himself, as I talked about earlier, has had a very tough second inning, but has looked better here in the 3rd, as, of course, we've mentioned pitcher warming up for the Eagles, but Schmidt looking like he's going to be okay here at the bottom of the 3rd if he can just get one more out here with Newhouser up to bat.
It was actually Schmidt's first strikeout of the night. Had 12 in his first start of the season, as Newhouser had a walk that eventually led to the 2nd run of the game for the Chargers. That one's up high. 1-1. One's down low. Good take by Newhouser. 2-1. Bottom of the 3rd, Carroll up 4-0, trying to advance back to 500 on the season after a hard schedule against some good teams that they were just not able to really eke out any wins against.
Yeah, Fisher's twice, and then following that with Noblesville on prom on last Saturday. So some top teams in the state of Indiana, as you said. Chargers not really able to win any of those games here, but still has a tough opponent here in the Eagles. But Probably not as tough as Newhouser will take the walk.
As 2 of those Carroll losses by 2 runs. 16-14 against Fishers and 7-5 against Noblesville.
Number 13, Tyler Morris.
But good position once again here to get some insurance runs for the Chargers.
As the Chargers having themselves a better day than they did in their opening game of the season, as of course that one 5-4 against the Eagles. This one 4-0 for the Chargers, so would be some signs of progress if the Chargers can win this one pretty handily.
Morris took his walk all the way home as well in that second inning. That produced 3 runs for the Chargers. A Carroll team that has 3 straight games here as they'll take on the Leo Lions tomorrow and then will host the DeKalb Barons Thursday night. Schmidt winds up on the 1-1 pitch. That one's in the dirt. Newhouser thought about stealing, heads back to second. Three-one.
Yeah, so Morris here with an opportunity to load these bases. Of course, 2 outs here, but the favorable count 3-1.
As he makes contact, that one's heading up the third base line as it's going to be an error there. As Wilkinson, that one just bouncing off his glove as the inning stays alive for the Chargers and its base is loaded.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised Morris swung there, but opted to do so as Chargers will load the bases here with Jackson Craker, the senior, up to bat.
As we're going to have a visit to the mound, we'll take a break. Schmidt stays in the game here as bases loaded, 2 outs off of the Morris hit. Makes it bases loaded. Wagner at third. One 0 count. Big opportunity here for the senior Craker. As he makes strong contact, that's going to fall. One comes in. Newhouser rounds, and he's in as it's a 2 RBI single. Therefore, Craker makes it 6-0.
Yeah, Craker really taking advantage of a great opportunity for the Carroll Chargers as 2 runners come in. Lead will balloon all the way out to 6 runs here.
Schmidt is having struggles here against his Carroll offense. As Jackson Sparks with the opportunity to increase the lead with the runners at the corners. Had the RBI single in the second inning. Alongside a stolen base and was able to come in for a run as well. That one's high. That one's hit out to right field. That's a rocket. That's going back, and that's gone for Jackson Sparks. Second home run of the season as it makes it a 9-0 ball game.
Yeah, and Sparks displaying his power there on the hit. Already had a hit in his previous at-bat, but puts that one outside the park as the Chargers really enjoying the bottom of this third inning here. They're up 9-0.
The future Sycamore bangs it through as he brings it down, as that one looked like a beauty off the bat with some assistance from the wind. As we'll finally have the mound visit. It looks like that'll end Schmidt's day as Jackson Sparks adds to the lead. Carroll up 9. As the day's over for Schmidt, as Logan Mattia now the pitcher for Columbia City off of the Jackson Sparks 3-run bomb. Makes it 9-0. Carroll here is Mattia. I believe it's his first appearance of the season.
Yeah, freshman on the mound here for the Eagles.
As he's hoping to get out in quick fashion here as that one's popped out to the outfield as a play is able to be made, but damage is done. It's a 5-run inning for the Chargers. They're up 9. As we head to the top of the 4th, Columbia City trying to get some insurance runs to try to at least avoid the run rule, as it's Columbia City now up to bat. Only one hit on the day. Logan Inman doing a good job so far as that one breaks through the infield, though, as he tripped up, but it's going to be an RBI single no matter what for Maddox Moon. as Columbia City got to bases loaded with 2 outs.
Next up for the Eagles.
But Neller got caught striking out as that inning felt like a long time ago when it was once 4-0. Now it's 9-0 off of the 5-run bottom of the third. Inman now to deal with Bradbury now at the plate. That one's down low.
And Inman really able to get out of that jam there successfully, as had the bases loaded and would probably have made this a lot more competitive game than what it is at this point, but able to show off when he needed to do so most. And
That one's skied out in the foul territory. Morris trying to chase it down as that one's going to go out of play. As Carroll softball winning the night against Leo 4-2. As Leo tried their hardest to fight back, had 2 in the top of the 7th, but just could not get enough in time. 1-1 count. Inman steps back up to the mound. Only 2 hits allowed and 5 runners on through 3 so far. That one's inside. He has struggled with his control, though, around the plate. 2 hit by pitches and a walk. As that one's thrown in for a strike, so 2-2. I believe that's Reinhardt, maybe in the pen. Someone's in the pen for the Chargers. It's far away, though.
very far away.
I
Like
need to
as
eat-
far away as it can get.
I need to eat more carrots because my eyesight is trash. As that swung on and missed. And it was a drop for a strike, but he can't advance, so it would be a strikeout now. Number 3 on the day for Logan Inman, as it's out number 1 of the inning.
Now up for the Eagles, number 5, Lucas Schmidt.
Schmidt now. The pitcher's still in to bat. Had a hit by pitch in the 2nd inning. That's strike 1.
Yeah, and did not really have a successful day pitching, but can try to make some of that back up here as the batter facing Logan Inman, but an 0-1 count.
Allowed 9 earned in 3 innings. Inman trying to locate the same area, just not able, just pushing it a bit too much in. As that's low. 2-1 count. That wind still blowing along 18 mile per hour. Haven't seen too many extra base hits. That one's a hard hit ground ball. Double play opportunity coming up, and Carroll converts to end the inning. Everything working out for the Chargers. We head to the bottom of the 4th. It's 9-0. As quick visit to the mound as Xavier Edgar up to hit for the Chargers. As if Carroll can put up one more here and shut out Columbia City in the next inning, they can be able to go home here via run rule. I don't think me and Owen would exactly mind that too much. It's cold.
Don't think the Chargers would mind that either. As great opportunity here.
It's cold and I have an e-contest tomorrow, so. And probs and stats.
Ooh, that's a big one.
Very hard class, probs and stats.
Yeah.
If any of you guys have attended Carroll, you know how funny that joke is. As that one's flied into center. As under it to make the play there is Barry for out number 1. As Mattia, freshman pitcher, making his first appearance this season so far, retiring the first 2 he faced, was able to end the 4th inning, the 3rd inning actually. They'll bring up Carter Irons, walking the ground out here tonight. As that one's in the dirt. That one's up high. As Irons gets under that one, that's going to go out of play. So still battling, 2-1 count. As that one in there. 2-2, 1 out. Here in the middle of the order for the Chargers. As that one's low. So full count coming up here for Irons. 1 out. As Mattia trying to retire his 3rd straight batter for the freshman in his high school debut. As Irons swings that one to Wilkinson, the 3rd baseman, as he's not able to contain it. And it's going to be an error on Wilkinson as Irons able to enter first.
Yeah, and the pitcher on the mound, Mattia, looking composed, as you said, a freshman, but let down there by his 3rd baseman, could not hold on to that ball and make the play, as Irons will reach first as a result of an error.
Second time where Wilkinson has kind of just struggled to really contain the ball. As Wagner comes up, has got on base both times he's been up. Single in the 1st, walk in the 3rd. And a stolen base to his name here today. Mattia now 1-0 count. As that one inside on Wagner does not hit him. Looked like he maybe tried to sell it a bit, could not get it. 2-0. Here's my hot take on baseball. I think it's dumb that if you get hit and you don't try to move out of the way, that it's a strike. I think if you take a 90-mile-per-hour ball to the body, that you should be able to take your base.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with that, Beeman.
Leaning in's different, but that one's low, as Irons going to be able to steal 2nd. I just think personally, if you have the courage to take a spinning hard rock that's going the speed of a car at your body, that I think you should be rewarded for it. I don't know. Three-1. Mattia trying to get out here. Irons at second with 1 out. Would be a big out if he can manage to find it deep in the hitter's count. That's swung on and fouled. Full count now for Asher Wagner.
Yeah, Wagner just able to get the tip of his bat on that one as trying to work the count here, 3-1. As you said, Irons at second. Chargers with an opportunity to try and get up 10 runs here, as we've talked about. The run rule would be relevant here.
Mattia delivers. That one's skied. Shallow right field. Second baseman's under it for out number 2. Busy week for the Chargers tomorrow, as we talked about. We'll take on Leo, a team that they split the season series with 1-1 last year.
Next up for the Chargers.
And then they'll take on DeKalb,
Braden Chrisley.
a team that seems to always give them fits throughout the last couple of years.
Their kryptonite.
Ended their season 2 years ago here at home in the sectional. Mattia now deals to Chrisley, who hits that one out in the outfield, as that's going to be able to fall, and Irons comes in as it's an RBI single for Chrisley, and now Carroll in set with the run rule.
Yeah, and a great hit there from Chrisley, as you saw. Great power on that ball, but able to drop in, as you said, for the RBI as Carroll expands their lead out to 10-0 here.
Next up for the Chargers, number
As with
5,
that, every player
Newhouser.
on the Charger lineup has made it on base now. As it's 10-0 now for the Chargers here in the bottom of the 4th. As Newhouser takes strike 1. Seven hits on the day for the Chargers. 10 earned runs, as they had 14 runs come in their last home game, but only 3 hits.
Man, that was a spectacle to watch, as Dwayne are really struggling with the pitching, as here more complete offensive showcase from the Chargers, earning their runs by, the traditional way, which would be hitting the baseball.
In a game that saw 13 walks and 3 hit by pitches. As we'll head to the top of the 5th, Columbia City tries to stay alive. They trail 10-0. So Fry now up to bat, as Columbia City needs a bat at least one in here to avoid the run rule in the top of the 5th, as Inman trying to get the full start here. Has done a good job throughout, only allowing 2 hits. I believe 5 runners on in total, 2 hit by pitches and a walk. As that one is skied. Trying to chase it down is Irons, as Craker able to come in for out number 1, as 2 away now for Carroll.
Yeah, and Inman has really had himself a good night. Had that one moment where the bases were loaded, but able to hold up here, and that's really been the difference here, as this lead out to 10, and the Chargers looking to clean this up for the home win here in their second home game of the season.
Trying to go 2-0 here at home, as It'll get extended a bit here as third hit by pitch of the night, as that'll send the pinch hitter and the pitcher, Mattia. They're at first, so Columbia City with at least a bit of life here.
Number 13, Zach Berry.
So Barry, the 9-hole hitter. That one's low. As Chrisley is going to try to get the runner out at first, as he had a good opportunity, but just threw it short into the dirt. Mattia was close.
Yeah, Chrisley threw that a little bit more accurately. Mattia probably would have been caught out there, but nonetheless, the Chargers still with 1 out on this board here, top of the 5th.
2-0 count. That one is hit strongly to left field. As runners on first and second, and one of the best opportunities here of the night for the Eagles, trying to stay alive. As no one in the bullpen for Carroll. They had, I believe, Reinhardt warming up for 2 innings, but he's back in the dugout. Wilkinson now. Leads the team in batting average, hitting over 400 on the season. Needs to try to put at least 1 in here with 1 out. Force out everywhere as it's a bunt, as that's going to get caught for out number 2. So Columbia City, worst case scenario there on the bunt, as it's 2 outs now, as Columbia City potentially down to their last batter here in Trey Deckman.
Yeah, and just a pretty poorly executed bunt there as he just put that one straight up in the air. Too easy to catch there for the Chargers as they're 1 out away with runners on first and second.
As Inman trying to get the complete game here on the start. Second one of the season. That one's down low. Ball 1-1-0. Inman checks the runners as ball 2. Deckman trying to stay alive here. Has yet to get a hit all season. Put in a spot here. Trying to keep the game alive. That one's grounded to the second baseman, and that will do it. Carroll wins in 5 with a 10-0 win over the Columbia City Eagles as Logan Inman pitches the shutout, and great day overall for the Chargers.
Yeah, good game for Logan Inman, but also a good game for the Charger offense as definitely a change of pace from their game here at home against Bishop Dwenger not so long ago, but the bats were swinging and Logan Inman able to complete the shutout here in 5 innings as the Chargers pull away with the win 10-0.
Yes, a game that saw 7 hits from the Chargers, only 1 being an extra base hit, but that being a 3-run bomb by Jackson Sparks, as Carroll will take on Leo tomorrow, and then we'll see them back at home here on the Charger Sports Network against the Cow. We'd like to thank everyone for watching. Thank you for all the production staff. That was Owen McFadden. I'm Carson Beeman. Have a great